Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show. Katy Perry is getting dragged on the internet for a joke on American Idol. Did she go too far? Then, it's a whole new world of immersion. We're taking you inside immersive Disney animation. And it's a battle months in the making. The first ever Jason Show Coconut Cake Battle Royale. Will Stephanie Hansen's famous coconut cake beat mine? You'll find out. The Jason Show starts right now. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Let's make it a good day. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Thursday. One more alarm clock to the weekend. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Keep that love going. Say hello to my sidekick sister. It's Kendall Mark.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings.
Happy Thursday. How you doing?
I'm good. When you said the alarm clock thing.
One more alarm clock till the weekend.
So happy. It was so hard to get up today.
Yeah, I hear ya.
It's just one of those days.
Yeah, it's relatable. No matter what you're doing, you have one of those days where, and yesterday is one of those where you had a whole bunch of things stacked right on top of each other. Individually, not a big deal, but when they're boom, boom, boom. So Hansen, who you just saw on the thing, Hansen called me a couple weeks ago and said, we should do a battle of the coconut cakes. Ooh. Because she has a take on Heidi Gardner's cake, and then mine is the take on the one from Hawaii. I'm like, oh, sure. So I said yes before, looking at the calendar.
Yeah.
Because then last night I went to the Disney immersion thing, so I was the last coconut flake on that cake was laid at about 11 o'clock at night.
Oh.
So, and then we wake up for the show around 4 a.m. So I woke up, I'm like, oh, that cake better be really good. And I'm looking at Steph's. Steph looks really good too. I'm looking at both of them right now.
She did bring a little cake stand, which I feel like the visual effect is kind of nice if we're judging on that at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is
She's got
visually.
a little leg up there.
I know I brought my Tupperware, because but we're not going to show it yet. But I brought some good old-fashioned Tupperware. So what we're going to do is, Aaron Schwab loves coconut. We're going to get two members of the audience that like coconut, and then they're going to judge the competition and see which cake is the best. Because they're very different. They're very different. They're very different. One has, like a pastry cream. One doesn't. One's just a different flavor profile. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this.
And then I'm going to take a fork once you guys are done with the TV part, and I'm just going to, while Jason does his next interview, I'm just going to eat both of them.
Eat the whole thing? That's fine. That's fine. Please do. Because I can't take it home after this, so we'll just give it to the audience. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it. SNL alum Molly Shannon was on Kimmel last night. She and Adam Sandler have been friends since college, and he actually convinced Lorne Michaels to hire her. And she talked about a party where she and Adam, they were at early on in their SNL tenure. Look at this.
Adam did the sweetest thing when I first started the show. We were at a party, and I was new to journalists and critics, and it was a Stuart Smalley after party. It was like a premiere party. And
of the movie.
Yeah, the movie. And Adam was there and I was there. And a critic came up to me and said something really nasty. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something about the movie and then something about me maybe. And so I went and told Adam, and Adam was like, who is it? And I was like, it's that guy over there. And he was like, you, come here. Get the hell out of here. Really? And he booted him out. And I've never been so protected. He felt like a protective big brother.
Wow.
It was so sweet. And the guy was shocked. He was just showed him the door.
Yeah, he's not just Mark Twain. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
That's
too.
Right, yeah.
You hear those stories all the time. You hear the stories. Adam is one of those people in Hollywood that is very devoted. The crew that, the Farley and Spade, that he works with the same, Chris Rock now, he works with the same people over and over and over again.
And he's hilarious. Can you imagine him at a party kicking you out? You'd almost think he was kidding. You'd be like, oh, for real? You want me to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
but also
Sorry.
comedians are sometimes not that when they're in
prickly.
party. Well, they're just quiet because they're on stage. They're in control of the situation. You take them out of that, and at cocktail parties and such, they're sometimes a little quiet because you can't be on 24 hours a day. And Molly Shannon, I think one of the most underrated SNLers, period, of any
funny.
era. She was so good in the first season of White Lotus. Adam recently was awarded the Mark Twain Prize. Molly, by the way, has a new movie called A Good Person, and it opens in theaters tomorrow. Next in the dish, Katy Perry. Katy Perry is facing criticism from American Idol contestant. Her name is Sarah Beth. Following comments, and this happened, I should tell you, a little while ago, but it's percolating now. So Sarah Beth was on Idol. She was auditioning, and Katy made some comments during a specific comment during Sarah's audition. We're going to roll it, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
My name is Sarah Beth, and I'm 25, and I'm from California.
You cannot be 25. What are you saying?
Yes, 25.
No,
16.
I mean, come on.
Bless, you guys are my favorite.
Give us a
I have
basic.
3 kids, so that's like...
Get away from here. What are you saying?
You okay, Katie?
Nope.
It's okay.
If Katie lays on the table, I think I'm gonna pass out.
3 kids.
Honey, you've been laying on the table too much.
No.
You know.
So it's that comment that Sarah says was embarrassing and hurtful. She calls it mom shaming and said women should support other women. Katy hasn't commented yet. Sarah did squeak through to Hollywood Week, and she went on her TikTok and she just looked in the camera and said, this is I'm paraphrasing. This is an example of mom shaming. I was embarrassed by the comment, and it's interesting. I would normally be on one side of this. I come on here and I talk about how I think people sometimes are overly sensitive, and I stand by that. But I'm looking at it through her point of view for a minute, and if I were her, and it looks like she was a big fan of Katy, and if Katy had said that about me, I might be a little hurt. You know what I mean? Now, so there's that aspect of it. On the other end, I don't think Katy would intentionally want to hurt that young lady's feelings with a joke about that, because she's basically saying you've been having a lot of sex, and that's basically what she's saying in the joke. And I know Katy's wouldn't intentionally want to hurt her, and also I've also said this a lot of times. When you're doing a show like that or this or whatever, Lord knows we've said stuff that you wish you could immediately roll back in your mouth, because whether you're Lionel or Luke or Katy, you're in the moment. There's no script. You're doing it without a net. You're trying to be funny and snappy and sharp in those moments. So you make a little snarky comment like that, and sometimes it doesn't land, and sometimes you're like, oh crap. It's not an excuse, but it's just reality. That stuff isn't scripted.
Right.
It's just off the top of your head. What do you think?
There's
I was watching your face.
Yeah, there's a lot to dissect. I feel like with that whole audition, if you watch the whole 3 to 5 minute piece, I think what picked up traction too was then Katy kind of continues to, she's like, sing louder, sing harder. Oh, that's all you want to do. And it comes off, I think it just seems to build on this idea that this girl who seems very nervous about the whole thing is now going, oh, well, Katy Perry doesn't like me. Saying that, I don't know if Katy Perry is kind of the new Simon. That's more what it's like. She's more like, give me more. I want more from you. You can give me more. If this is your dream, then make it your dream and go for it. So I see Katy's side. I also see what you're saying, where she is clearly very nervous, and this is this girl she's obsessed with. I mean, you can tell during that interview, and she's like, oh, you think I'm...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the back half of that, I can see, but Katy being a new Simon or being harsh about her critique,
right?
That young lady just has to get used to, because she's going to get feedback that she's not going to like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially in entertainment,
And what Katy I think the vibe that I got from Katy was that Sarah Beth was not taking it seriously enough the entire interview. And what I could see too, she was very like, oh, okay, yep. She was nervous.
Yeah.
But so it's a whole
thing.
thing.
Next on the dish, Giselle is opening up about her split from Tom Brady. She talked with Vanity Fair and wanted to clear the air on like 80 topics, including their split. She said Tom's decision to play another season of football that just wasn't the reason for the divorce. She said the split wasn't based on any one thing, but, and you can understand this, she said it was a gradual shift over the years and how they just grew apart. They wanted different things. The two were married for 13 years. They split. They have 2 kids. She also talked about how she has a sanctuary for chickens. And I thought, and I know the audience is like, wow, we're going from Tom Brady to chickens, but I don't really care. I don't find Giselle, and nothing, no slam, but they're not interesting to me. I'm not a sports guy. What I found interesting was she has a sanctuary for chickens, which, you know what that tells you? This ain't a coop. She has like a condo for these chickens. I want to see where Giselle is keeping these chickens.
How are they treated? How do they feel?
How are they treated?
Like it? I know, I'm kidding.
They're Giselle's chickens.
Like,
They're probably
wow.
treated better than the 2 of us.
They eat really nice food.
They probably have better accommodations than everybody in the studio.
They truly
Seriously.
do. They truly do. I like too that they're since they've divorced, they're split. He's been very supportive of her, and she's been very supportive of him.
They've been classy.
Yeah, when he retired, she was like, "Listen, it wasn't his fault. They didn't have a good season. X, Y, and Z happened." So she's still a big supporter of him.
Okay, yeah. ...
What?
He did post. He's vague booking a little bit. He posted after that interview came out. He just posted some like precious moment saying it was like something like the caged bird sings and I know why or something. Just so he posted something. And I don't know what it is. Anyway, lots more to stop vague booking, Tom. Lots more to come, but first, more studio audience selfies from the past week. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back. Well, SNL cast member Heidi Gardner was on with Fallon last night, and she talked, I love her on the show Shrinking that I've been telling you about. She talked about when she goes to Kansas City and tries new restaurants with her dad. That is our late night rewind.
So he has this tradition where he likes to take me to like the greasiest diner or find like the most loaded burger of stuff. And so this last time I went home, he was like, I found this ground beef taco where the cheese is the powder from Kraft macaroni. It's at a place called In a Tub. So we get in the car to go, and it just so happens that I decided to wear like the most expensive, pristine pair of white pants. We go to In a Tub. We're eating the ground beef taco with the powdered cheese. It's delicious. He was right.
Yes.
I get like just the tiniest speck of that powdered cheese on my pants. And I knew if I took a napkin, it would spread it.
Can't touch it.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna have to blow this off. But I was like at a weird angle to like blow on myself. And my husband, who was also enjoying a ground beef taco, I turned to him and I was like, hey babe, would you just blow that cheese off my pants? And he was like, oh yeah, babe, I got it. And he takes a massive breath in, and then the second he starts blowing, ground beef just starts spraying, and he lays.
That's yeah. You know what the worst?
visual.
You know what's the worst to try to? It's similar to that. The Dorito Locos taco powder. When you're eating one of those.
Oh.
No, if you're eating a Dorito Locos taco and you get that taco dust on your hands.
Not the taco dust!
No, but it's very, our hot dish now continues with our insider. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron had to force the audience on that one. They weren't real sure. Please welcome from the Hollywood Raw podcast. He likes Dorito Locos tacos too. It's Dax Holt.
Hello, good morning. How are you, Jason?
Wait a minute. Dax, are you in your end of the world bunker? Where are you?
This is the Trophy Smack office here. This is my home away from home.
That's right. If you guys don't know, Dax is a successful entrepreneur. That's a big-ass hamburger you got up there. What's that hamburger from?
That was actually from my TMZ days. So we had done like an integration with Burger King back in the day. So they gave me that, and it was filled with burgers. It's actually hollow. And then these were the Kirstie Alley French fries that I had from her garage sale. That was also from my TMZ days.
And are those toilets? Are those two little toilets up there?
Yeah, those are loser awards. So if you suck at fantasy football, that's what you can get for yourself.
That is great. Okay, let's get to the business. You guys chatted with a best-selling author. Who was it?
Yeah, so we chatted with Ian Halpern, who is an investigative reporter. He is a New York Times best-selling author. He's done all these books on big celebrities and scandals. He's done a Brangelina book. He's done one on the Kardashians, done one about Kurt Cobain. And he had one go really, really popular, which was his Michael Jackson book. And 6 months before Michael Jackson died, he actually said Michael had 6 months to live and basically predicted it almost to the day. And so once Michael passed away, this book became extremely popular. But my big thing is like, these are families that are like impenetrable. You know what I'm saying? Like from someone who's been covering entertainment news for so long, how he was able to get information out of these camps, I have absolutely no idea. We brought him on the podcast, asked him all about it. His big thing is he goes undercover, which I'm not sure I totally agree with in some of these circumstances, but he has been able to get a lot of information, publicize a lot of it to the world. I mean, his stories of what he's done undercover is crazy and creepy at the same time, I must say, but he's been able to break a lot of big stories. And I even asked him, I'm like, are there any boundaries? He's like, nope, no boundaries. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not really for that. But yeah, he's broken a lot of big stories.
So he has, you kind of answered a question I was getting. He has no guilt. He doesn't care. It's all about getting the goods.
And that's where I feel like that was weird in the conversation. There doesn't feel like there was a lot of guilt, which you got to have some boundaries, especially because at the end of the day, celebrities are humans, and you know, they have feelings, and just because we report on them doesn't mean that, you know, they read this stuff too. And I've found myself, I got caught with this a couple times where, you know, I think I was on Access Hollywood once, and I was talking about American Idol coming back for, you know, season number like 55 or whatever it's on at this point. And I just said, you know, look, I love Ryan Seacrest, but the show itself, I feel like it's getting kind of stale and this and that. Seacrest literally wrote me an email and was like, what are you doing? Like, this is my job at the end of the day. And it was one of those moments I was like, oh yeah, like you have to think of it in a certain perspective at certain times. And this guy, he went undercover even to the doctor that worked on Caitlyn Jenner, and as someone who was looking to transition. And I was like,
that's tacky. I don't like that.
Yeah, so there were certain things I called him out on the podcast, but it was a definitely interesting look into someone else's career, I must say.
Did you email Seacrest back?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, I think you should do the show forever. I love you.
Have you? I've never asked you this in all of our conversation. Other than Seacrest, have you ever gotten a crappy email from during your TMZ days, or have been confronted by a celebrity that you talk smack about on the show?
Yeah, there's been times where someone may like say, hey, I didn't love that you said this or said that. But I would say for the most part, I kept my personality on that show much more lighthearted. Like, it wasn't about like ragging on celebs. It was more like, let's have fun, let's laugh. But yeah, I've been called out before. I'm just trying to remember a good circumstance other than the Seacrest one. But I don't have one for you right now. I remember you know
what?
don't have one.
Homework. We'll do it next week.
Sounds good.
Bye, buddy. Thank you. You can find the Hollywood Raw podcast wherever you get your podcast. Imagine getting that email in your inbox from Seacrest, Ryan. Yeah. We should have asked him for his email address. Yeah, what is it?
Please.
At hotmail.com? Yeah. Yeah. Next on the dish, former Minnesota Senator Al Franken is the guest host this week on The Daily Show. The senator visited the sanitation department to see where New York City puts all that trash. Look.
All right, look out. The truck's coming.
I think, you know what?
Let's go.
This would be really...
No, we have to go. Let's go.
This is mine.
Let's go.
Okay, watch out, there's trash here. I'm stepping in cabbage. There it is! Woo!
Isn't it amazing?
Holy moly!
How much is it?
Oh!
From here, the trash is loaded into containers and put on barges, then makes a stop at Staten Island.
Hey, yo, what are you, Gagoots?
But not even trash wants to stay there, so then it shuffles off to Buffalo by rail, where it's burned to generate electricity.
Look at that. What's that?
Oh, that's Scrappy, our composting mascot.
Can you come over here? I got a bone to pick with you. You clearly modeled Scrappy after me. The glasses, the teeth, the kind of the Jufro.
What about the eyebrows?
Those are my eyebrows.
Exactly, you should be flattered. It's our composting mascot.
I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you, Scrappy. Okay, go away.
Al's guests this week. Al's guests included Senator Lindsey Graham, who they're actually real friends. Imagine that in this climate. People on other sides of the aisle can actually be friends. And Succession's Alan Ruck. Look, we've talked about every guest host that's been on there. I think Al, obviously, his years on SNL prepared him, but if I'm being honest, he seems a little stilted. And I think it comes from the fact that you can be a good writer, and they call them field pieces. He's great at the field pieces, but the reading of the teleprompter at the desk
can throw people a lot.
He's very Ted put it really well in our meeting. You just want to say, get it out. You know what I mean? He just is a little halted in it, and it just
surprising.
A little. Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, because on SNL, they don't read teleprompters.
It's true.
You know what I mean? As a politician, he does for speeches, but it was just an interesting observation that out of all of them that have done it, I was excited to see what he would do. He's great at field pieces, not so much at the desk stuff.
Yeah, I guess I think it's surprising because I feel like when he was, no matter what you think politically, when he was in the Senate, he was known as being a pretty good orator.
Yeah.
Or whenever there was anything in front of him, being able to speak his piece really clearly and concisely. So it's interesting that would be the struggle.
Yeah, that Lindsey Graham interview is really good. Just watch that. That's very interesting. Next in the dish, kids get grounded for a lot of reasons, like missing curfew, bad grades. I once spray painted a dirty word on my parents' new house.
Hey!
Thank you. Thank you, Eric, for clapping at that. It starts with an S. That's just a true story. But when you're the child of celebrities, you can sometimes get grounded for other reasons. Look at this.
Make vodka sauce pasta with me because I'm grounded, because I tried to charter a helicopter from New York to Maryland on my dad's credit card because I wanted to have dinner with my girlfriend. Also, I thought I would do this since I'm already grounded because my parents' biggest rule is I'm not allowed to have any public social media accounts. Here's why.
Okay, so there's not a single person in the studio that understood what she said. That is Romy Mars. That's the daughter of movie director Sofia Coppola and musician Thomas Mars. If you missed her sped up TikTok, it's making headlines because she admits to being grounded after trying to charter a helicopter using her dad's credit card. And she wanted to charter that helicopter to meet a friend at TGI Fridays. That's right. She since deleted the video and made all accounts private. But many fans are saying, look, she's obnoxious, but you gotta love her honesty. I mean, you know.
That was so fast, too. Is that like how, I mean, I have TikTok, but is that how like the youngins watch TikTok? They're like super speed?
I don't know. Addie, is that how people do it? They speed them up? Do you speed up our TikToks? Okay.
Oh my God, it gave me like a heart attack.
Andy, let's try that. Maybe we'll get some new followers. Let's speed up. Let's just speed it up a little bit. Let's
We talk too slow.
We do. It's time to meet today's JVIP. Meet Darcy Matson from St. Paul, Minnesota. She says she loves that we keep it light and entertaining. She loves, she says that Kendall makes her smile. Look at that, Kendall.
Oh, thanks,
you make
Darcy.
people smile. She's also a huge Star Wars and Disney fan. Well then, and she loves Hawaii. So basically, we're siblings. So she lives vicariously through me. Darcy gets a Jason Show mug. She's also entered to win the monthly grand prize. That includes coming to the studio to be a VIP guest, a $150 gift card to Becker Furniture World, and a $150 gift card to the Institute of Advanced Aesthetics. We have such a good show coming up. Stay right there. We'll be back after these words. Coming up, friends, it's large-scale Disney magic. I'm taking you inside the new immersive exhibit celebrating the wizards of Disney animation. Then, it's the first annual Jason Show Coconut Cake War in this corner. Stephanie Hansen's famous take on a legendary cake. And in this corner, my take on that famous Hawaiian coconut cake. Which one will rise to the top? You'll find out when we come back. We're in the kitchen. So, if you know this, but when I went to Hawaii a couple times, I had the best coconut cake ever. And credit where credit's due, my buddy Lori Barghini from My Talk 1071, the radio station I work at, told me about this many years ago. So we went. She was right. It's the best coconut cake I've ever had. So then I made it at home. And then we did a segment, you guys saw it, blah, blah, blah. Well, our next guest thinks that she can make a rival coconut cake that's even better. Give it up for foodie queen, Stephanie Hansen. Hi.
Hi. I'm feeling like, you know how you're like on the playground and you're like, my ball's bigger than your ball and I'm gonna beat you at dodgeball. Dodgeball?
I wondered where you were going with that, and I just, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I feel like I'm on the playground and I like have built myself up and I'm a terrible dodgeball player. But no. I'm nervous.
Why? Don't be nervous. Yours is lovely. Yours is beautiful. It looks like something from Williams-Sonoma. You know what I mean? It does.
Cute.
It looks beautiful.
That's so nice.
I asked Stephanie if she shaved her own coconuts. I mean, because it looks like, you know, anyway.
These are the organic.
Audience.
These are the organic coconut shavings.
Those are the organic ones.
Yes, because, you know.
I got good old American artificial flavored coconut shavings there.
Which
yeah.
might taste better.
No. Okay, so let's go through this because we in a little bit, Schwaberini and two audience members are going to come up here to do a little taste test. So describe, ladies first. All right. What do we have here? Yours is a take of.
I kind of am obsessed with Heidi Gardner. She's like my spirit animal, and I like one year got it in my brain that I needed to make a coconut cake for Easter. So I made her cake, and it was super delicious because it has 5, count them, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sticks of butter inside it. Okay? So anything that has like a pound of butter, I was excited about. But then I like kind of put my own riff on it, and I've made it a few times. So when you were talking about, is it the Hale Kalana Hotel? I was like, oh, I know this cake is super great because Lori's talked about it. But like, I don't know, what cake is better? So I got all big in my britches. And I was like, let's have a coconut cake off.
No, I've made the barefoot Contessa one. Mine did not look, I didn't use organic coconut shavings, but I did make that one. Now mine, so yours is the Heidi Gardner one is
it's full of butter, it's heavy, it's drier, and I have a little surprise in the middle because I needed to amp it up to compete with you.
What is a little baby? Do you have a baby gonna?
Yours
is a Shriner gonna pop out of the damn thing?
Wouldn't that be funny though? Yours is like 3 layers. It's got a whipped cream. Mine is a buttercream. Yours has a pastry cream filling. Mine has the mystery filling. So I don't know. And partially, like, I mean, they're both going to be amazing, right?
Yeah, they're just very, very different. Yeah, so that's the Ina Garten one. So mine is, as Steph said, this comes from the Hawaiian Hotel on Oahu, and this one is very much a Hawaiian cake. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at it.
Oh, I thought you saw something in there.
No.
Anyway, so this one, now listen to this. This one has no butter. There's not any butter in this. Now, the only butter is in the pastry cream. This is a very light sponge. It's literally.
So it's like oil.
It's oil.
Oh.
And it's almost like an angel food texture.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that
then
sounds good.
The pastry cream, everything's homemade, but the pastry cream is a normal pastry cream with coconut and amaretto. It's a nice, like a little less than a half a cup of amaretto.
Okay, so I already, like, this is going to be like plunk, and yours is going to be like, a little light and fluffy.
No,
and
not
airy.
necessarily. No, I mean, we'll see. So yeah, there's the first attempt. That one was a little weird, but anyway.
Was that at your house?
That was at my house during
Look
the holidays.
At that tablescape.
Remember,
my
I always
word.
have my table set up. Yeah, just in case there's a party. Anyway, so which one is better? Like I said, Aaron and members of our audience will decide. More with Hansen when we come back. Back in a moment. Yeah, it's my. Well, we are back with Stephanie Hansen, and it's time for a good old-fashioned taste test. But first, Aaron, you look concerned.
Jeff told me to take my headset on.
Oh, just leave it on.
Mystery.
Oh, just, yeah. Leave it on if you.
My hair looks like a helmet.
No, you look fine. You look fine. Okay. So obviously, here's our taste testers. She's our audience Yoda. Give it up for Erin Schwaberini, everybody. Is it Sherry? Sherry. Give it up for Sherry, everybody. And I know this lady, it's Karen, everybody. Okay. So here we go. They have both pieces.
These cakes could not be more different.
Oh, they look good.
But they both look. Steph, yours looks amazing. So,
yeah, but yours looks real delicious too, I have to say.
Oh well, let's see. I mean, each of them in front of them have a paddle. It's either you put Jason or you put Stephanie's dish. We got Stephanie's logo in there. Product placement. So anyway, so go ahead, eat in any order. Go ahead, start eating.
I would encourage you to get a little frosting.
Yeah, I would get a little bit of everything. Stephanie's right. Just a little bit. Take a couple bites of each if you need to. Stephanie.
But they look good.
They look.
Don't they?
Now, Stephanie, while they're eating, now that the camera's on this, what is your mystery filling?
A little raspberry filling, because I knew that the famous Halekulana cake had pastry cream filling, so I wanted to have a little surprise.
Now what kind of bite is that, Karen?
Oh, he's gonna micromanage.
You took a little, like a baby bird bite. Now seriously.
That's my favorite. She brought water to cleanse her palate.
Oh yeah, she did.
She's a professional
Did we check
taster.
though? Is it really water? It is water, right? That's not okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate your level of professionalism.
Okay.
Very much.
Here we go. Aaron's.
Okay, I'm
Aaron's
getting
doing that one.
coconut all over Jason's fancy
It's fine.
desk.
Who cares? We'll
Okay,
clean it afterwards.
All right. Ooh, we have a consternation thinking face coming from Aaron Schwab. Oh, we have another thinking face at the end. A little head nodding.
Now again,
very nerve-wracking, friends.
And again, these are two very different coconut cakes.
I'd like to vote now.
One is
for
the
myself.
Barefoot Contessa. You can't vote.
Just voting.
And then the other is from the Halekulana Hawaii cake.
There's a lot of chewing happening.
There is. Aaron's faces are very descriptive.
Oh, wait.
I haven't voted yet.
She hasn't voted yet. No, I know. We're just staring at your face. Okay. Now, okay, now Sherry is still. Sherry's eating the whole cake. I love it.
Okay, you gotta vote with your stick.
One of them is more.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm very nervous.
Go ahead. We'll be right back. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so let's start with the non.
Amazing.
Okay, Aaron, what was it? What tipped it over the edge, Aaron?
I'll be really honest. First of all, I'm a huge sucker for raspberry. I like anything with a raspberry filling, and it's sweeter than yours is. Yours is a little less sweet, so if somebody is looking for something that is like a little, like this is what I could do this in a coffee. This is like a good ender to a meal because it wouldn't leave you like, this is more filling than this is. This is a little lighter, but this is like sweeter.
Got it.
And I like a dense cake.
Got it. Sherry, you?
I also like the raspberry. I like the texture much more, and I like the frosting. This was a little bit too wet for me.
Okay, that's enough. Okay. Karen?
You had me at amaretto.
Thank you. In the pastry cream.
Amaretto, and this, I like a lighter cake. I don't like a heavy cake, so this one's a little too dense for me.
Got it. There we go. Give it up, everybody, for our taste testers.
That is also real good. So
it's just a different.
From like winner to almost winner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
But not quite winner.
Hey, I'm glad you won. I expected you to win, actually. I knew you were.
Yesterday.
I knew you were going to win. For this recipe and all things Stephanie, go to stephaniesdish.com. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Telling you. I mean, I know it's my show, but this is a show full of my favorite things. I had coconut cake and now Disney. You may remember the Bridgerton immersive experience that came to town a few months ago, and then the Van Gogh as well. Well, a new show has moved into that same space, and it features some of my favorite characters, literally. Here to talk about the immersive Disney animation, Dorothy from Disney Animation. Special projects producer. Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, how are you?
So I'm not going to sit here and act like Dorothy and I met last night, and you started at Disney in 80?
1980. I was 2.
2.5, 3, yeah. And you've literally done, we were talking during you've done a little bit of everything.
I've done a little bit of everything. Started out giving everybody their shorthand and typing test when they started at Disney.
Isn't that funny? They took shorthand
And
typing tests back in 80.
Some people don't know what shorthand is.
Yeah.
Yes, and then worked my way all the way through animation.
And now you are special projects producer is a good term?
That's right.
A good title?
That is a good title.
What does that mean? So you're under your jurisdiction, Disney on Ice, right, and stuff like this?
That's right. So I creative producer for all of live entertainment, part inside the park and outside of the park, including American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, Disney Nights, concerts that we have traveling around. We have about 800 of them traveling around the world. And this immersive experience and Disney on Ice.
Let me ask you, I could literally just talk to Dorothy for an hour. But before I get a little nerdy, can you tell folks, because people go, what is this? What is this immersive? Can you explain? It's very hard what this is.
Yeah, so it is a wonderful experience when we partnered with Lighthouse Immersive. And we were like, what kind of show could this be? And when we develop our films at Disney, it's all about bringing people into our worlds, right? And what is that story we want to tell? And a lot of our films are all about wishing, hoping, dreaming. And that was the same vision that Corey Ross and Miles Dale had as well. So we started putting this film together, or I call it a film because it's 50 minutes of content.
It is, yeah.
It is. And we started talking about wishing, hoping, and dreaming, and our films just lend themselves to it. And with this immersive experience. I mean, we have a flying sequence, right? We have all about dreaming and hoping. We have the villains, the delicious villains. Love me some Ursula, so great.
And I don't, spoiler alert, they open with Lion King. And if you don't cry during Circle of Life, you need to check your heart. But it is I was there last night, and it is like you're standing, this is how I described it this morning. You're standing in the middle of like 50 IMAX screens, and they're surrounding you, and you're surrounded by the music of Disney. You're surrounded by the imagery. The floor responds to you. When there's pixie dust on the floor and you walk around, the pixie dust moves like you're stepping on it. Watching kids go through it was my favorite thing. They're running around there. They're hoping that they're making, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. And we have these bracelets that light up, which is terrific, and those are synced with what you're watching up on the walls.
Like the magic bands at the parks.
The magic bands at the parks, yeah.
Do you, nerding out just a little bit here, I'm taking advantage of the fact that I have a Disney person sitting next to me. Do you do anything with the nighttime spectaculars on the show?
We do. We actually work very closely with all of the parks. And so when there's a projection show up on whether it's the Small World or the Castle or Main Street.
Can I just say, all I needed you to say was yes, because on behalf of every park fan, thank you for bringing back Happily Ever After.
Yeah,
which is there. It's if you don't know what it is, it's a nighttime spectacular at Magic Kingdom. Were you guys just flooded with emails about that thing?
Yeah, everybody loved it. And, we put a special one in there for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World last year, and now we've brought the other one back. But we do, I oversee the hand-drawn animators, so we still do hand-drawn animation at Disney along with computer-generated animation, still working on paper and pencil. And what Walt did 100 years ago. So
and you see that aspect of it. You see in the kind of the pre-show. You see the sketches, and the kids can learn how to sketch. I loved that. I loved watching the kids do it even before the main show, which, as Dorothy said, is 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's terrific. I mean, it's what we started. What Walt started 100 years ago, and when he's doing visual development with characters and hand drawing them, we still do that today.
How do you? I know, like, when we do a piece here on our show, and photographer Eric goes into the edit suite, he takes, the hour of footage that we shot and he crafts a story. I thought about this last night. How in the Disney world do you and your producers sit and try to decide, okay, why did Dorothy pick that song from Frozen and that song from Encanto? How you guys have such a huge library? How do you put this together?
I know it was really great because we both had that vision of what we wanted it to be, but there's so much to choose from. We have 61 films. We have a little bit over 45 in there. So we try to pull a little bit, but it came together very naturally.
Did it?
It really did. It really did. It's just what our films are made of and what Corey and Miles were looking for and what we wanted it to be to delight everybody. It truly came together. But yes, it was hard. It was like, oh, that one didn't earn its way back in. It was in there. We had to pull it out.
And even if you pick a movie, okay, we're going to do Pocahontas. What song? Or if you're going to do Frozen, are you going to do Let It Go because everyone loves it? Or are you going to do something, which I'm not going to give anything away? There's a few unexpected songs in there, I appreciated that.
Yeah, because there's a theme, right?
Yes.
So we have our flying sequence. We have our everybody's down on their luck, right? The hoping, the wishing. Everybody, for all of our films, we have the I Want song, right?
Yeah.
I want, it's Belle with her I Want song. So that we had a lot of films to choose from.
It's bravo.
Yeah.
Everyone should see this. If you have a Disney fan in your house or a kid, or you just want to feel like a kid, go see this. The Immersive Disney Animation Experience kicks off tonight. For tickets, go to immersivedisney.com. Dorothy, thank you.
Thank you so
much. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Oh, my God. So, thank you. Oh, my God. Before we get to World's Shortest Segment, I just want to say, too, it's 50 minutes, so if you're not a Disney fan and you don't like the music, it may not be your thing, but oh my God, if it is, it was magic.
Real cool.
It's time for the World's Shortest Segment. Today, Courtney Cox is doing the work. She's doing the work. Check out the hilarious Instagram video that she shared showing people walking on her star along the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Then Courtney comes out with cleaning spray and paper towels to clean her star. Also making time. She did also clean Jennifer Aniston's, Reese Witherspoon's, and her friend Laura Dern. Reese commented, "Thanks for keeping us clean." We'll be right back in a moment.
So Monica.
What?
So Monica.
Tickets to our show. We have some tickets available next week. Go to eventbrite.com or the Eventbrite app and search for The Jason Show. Also, also want some merch, go to our Facebook page. There's a merch link right there. We got sweatshirts, that water bottle that I keep talking about that keeps water cold for like 80 years. There could be a zombie apocalypse and the water in that canister would still be cold.
I hear we're selling coconut cake too.
We're not selling it. Stephanie's cutting it up. We're giving both cakes pieces to everybody in the audience today. So they'll get a little, Stephanie's award-winning cake, that's right, and my loser cake. Tomorrow on the show, a palm reader will join us. What is in the future for Kendall, Jeff, Ted? Oh God, she'll tell us. That's it. But today, that's gonna do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Cake. Loser cake.